and we need to have a serious conversation because I've noticed something really worrying, a worrying trend around crypto terror. Yes, what's crypto got to do with ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Hamas? Well, there's something very interesting going on, and this poses a critical risk to crypto. I know we're facing really positive momentum here in the crypto prices, but I'm noticing this trend of more and more media attention around how crypto is being used as a tool to help supposed terrorist organizations run their operations. What is going on here? What is the deeper story behind this? And what do we need to be very, very clued up on about? I'm going to talk to that a little bit. It all starts off with, guys, let's go back a couple of days ago, and we saw that, Binance and CZ had his personal and the company a $4 billion fine, and the news started coming out, including when we covered the DOJ, the Department of Justice's press conference, that Binance were used as a funnel to support the likes of ISIS, Hamas, Al-Qaeda, and other opposed terror organizations around the world. And this apparently is now becoming a rather interesting trend. I opened up CoinDesk this morning only to see again another headline: Hamas, Hezbollah now prefer Tron to Bitcoin. Right? You're just tracking these terrorists apparently so easily here on the crypto space. And what's more worrying is you've got to understand what is the narrative that's been going on up until now. I've spoken about the fact that this market will start to run when the US and the Western world figure out how to control crypto. And when they can control it, that is exactly when you will see the likes of spot Bitcoin ETFs. And that's a double-edged sword, right? For people who invest in crypto, they want to see price go up. They want to see mainstream adoption, but it comes with certain things which start to come in the way. The other thing that's very, very interesting and clear to anybody who opens their brain up a little bit is the double standards to which they're attacking crypto versus fiat currencies. And we know that's their agenda. We know the whole agenda is to smear campaign crypto so that people fall for the CBDCs and just use a digital version of the useless fiat currency they currently use today, which is still inflating, which is not permissionless, which is not immutable. They can turn it off when you do not agree to what they're saying. They can turn off your fiat currency if you're using a CBDC. They can limit how much you're going to spend on your grocery bills and which holidays you go on, right? They'll do all these things through CBDC, but they do so by smearing crypto to make you think that the exchanges you're using and the way you use crypto is helping fuel terror across the world. They don't want to talk about how Ukraine were accepting donations in crypto or other places. Everybody's using crypto. Crypto is just a tool. So stop making it a divisive thing that one side is using crypto and the other side is not using crypto, right? There's stuff going on in the world, but everybody can use the tool that is crypto. It's an infrastructure layer. It's technology. Everybody can use technology. It's like saying the internet. You're using the internet. Yeah, so what? Everybody's using the internet. Good people and bad people. It's like using a knife. Oh, people use knife to cut butter and other people use knives to go do crimes, right? This is an asinine kind of conversation to be having here, but we're having it for a very specific reason because the media are pushing this agenda, and the crypto media as well, around this narrative. And I don't want to see it because it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant to what we're doing here. What we do need to understand, though, is what I'm trying to explain is that the existing establishment, the incumbents, if they do allow crypto through mass adoption, right? If they do allow it, it's because they've got the safeguards in place, they control the mechanisms, then they'll allow it. They will not allow it otherwise. It will just be this niche thing, which, again, we're going to have to push through other means. So that's one thing we really, really need to understand. It's frustrating to kind of see these things where people are jumping in and saying, oh, look how it's being used for money laundering and this. Like the US dollar isn't used for crime. Right? Like, is the US dollar not used for crime? Is the US dollar not used for a lot of the stuff that's going on in the world and buying military and killing and the deaths being caused in the world is funded by US dollars? US dollars. I'm sure if somebody did this calculation out there, which fiat currency is causing the most deaths in the world right now, it's the US dollar. It's not Bitcoin. Right? So to make this argument is just so silly and pathetic, but it just goes to show the deeper agenda that's going on in the world right now. So we'll park that there right now. It made me hugely frustrated, but hopefully that opens your eyes to what they're trying to do and how they're trying to change the narrative to smear a technology, right? To smear a technology which they don't want you guys to be using. So Of course, we're smarter than that, and we were not going to fall for such lame kind of journalism. So, coming back into the Bitcoin price, you guys know we spoke about this ascending triangle, which majority of the time does break to the upside. But remember, I did say don't be surprised to see it cooling off. We're seeing exactly that. So hopefully this didn't catch any of you guys off guard. And again, this can consolidate for a little bit longer. There's plenty of room here for this to kind of bounce, go back again, maybe get rejected again. So it could be in here for a while. And again, both scenarios are here to play. Two-thirds to this breaks to the upside. 1/3 of the time, this type of pattern breaks to the downside, and be very, very wary of fake outs. Sometimes you get fake outs like this, right, where it fakes to the downside, shakes everybody out, and then off it goes to the upside. Or it goes here, fakes everybody out here, and then boom, off it falls to the downside, right? You already had one fake out here. This is why it's very important if you guys are traders or you're trying to trade any moves, do not get called out for these fake outs. If you want to learn TA, you can do so through my structured curriculum, ijaz.uk/TA. If you guys want to trade with our community, share ideas and the rest of it, ijaz.uk/TG. It's in our Telegram group, guys. Whenever I'm not doing videos, a bunch of alerts, TA, insights, what trades I'm taking are all shared in the Telegram group. Make sure you guys are in there. So we're watching this very carefully here on the daily chart here on Bitcoin. You can see also the daily EMA ribbon coming in as nice support here. So again, very difficult for the bears right now. The bears kind of can and will want to push this into the EMA ribbon to get a meaningful retest. If we do come to these levels, I've said previously around that 34,000 level, I'm happy to nibble. But other than that, it's going to be hard for the bears because this is a lot of support coming in from this EMA ribbon to push us to the upside. So do not be surprised after a little pullback to get a nice strong bounce here off the daily EMA ribbon. If I show you the 4-hourly EMA ribbon, this is where the trend has now changed. So if you can see, as we've been in this triangle, this is a consolidation, right? Bitcoin had its big move here. You see, it reclaimed its 4-hourly EMA ribbon and it stayed above its EMA ribbon, stayed above, all the way up to here. And then it started losing it, regaining it, losing it, regaining it. And so when it does this thing where it's losing it and regaining it, that's a sideways consolidation. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. We're just seeing a sideways consolidation in this triangle whilst the the bulls kind of cool off a little bit because they lost some steam from this big move to the upside. So completely normal. The question is, on that daily chart, do they now have the energy to break out from this triangle and go on their next leg up towards that 40 and 45k level here to the upside? That's what we want to see. Now, on top of that, we know we've got some critical data coming out this week, including a bunch of Fed officials speaking as well throughout the week, but mainly want to cast your eyes across to firstly, we get a GDP figure, so make sure you guys are paying attention to that GDP figure. But then after that GDP figure, you need to be paying attention to the PCE inflation, which comes out. So Q3 GDP figure there on Wednesday, and then on Thursday, you get your PCE inflation, which is the most important inflation measure that the Fed use before their FOMC meetings. Remember, the next FOMC meeting is on December the 13th. Markets broadly here continue to expect a pause. They're not expecting another increase in interest rates this year, which is why we're seeing a little bit of frothiness in the market, a little bit of excitement here in this market as well. If we take a quick check in here on the dollar index, you can see the dollar index is here just moving to the downside again after a week here to the downside, right? So you can see here now it's had good 3 weeks here to the downside on the dollar index. It's lost its weekly EMA ribbon and confirmed a candlestick thereafter. So this is good. This is a good trend for it to lose its EMA ribbon. I want to see that ribbon flipping, right? Where the lighter colored lines start crossing over the darker colored lines, which really starts to set it up for a bigger move to the downside. I want this to really come and correct down to the downside because remember, this is inversely correlated. When this is moving down, it means risk is rotating on. It means better times for Bitcoin and obviously your growth stocks and other risky risk on assets as well. So sitting here on Bitcoin, fine that we're getting a little bit of a cooling off here today. Do not be surprised whatsoever. I mean, particularly the weekly chart, plenty of room to call off down to 31, 31.5. Happy to nibble at those levels if we ever get those levels. But more importantly here on the daily chart, don't be too concerned if this kind of wants to come even down here and break down from the triangle I shared with you guys down to 33, 33.8. I'll be more than happy to DCA into my long-term bags. Of course, guys, we are taking shorter-term trades as well. If you guys want to know how I trade, jump into our Telegram group, ijaz.uk/TG, where you can see exactly how I do my trade setups and what kind of strategies I personally use to profit from the market, even during these up and down periods. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoy this content. Guys, just do not fall for the stuff that's going on in that media. Really, really frustrating. But we know crypto is a technology that is, impartial. It's a technology infrastructure layer, just like you would use a knife, just like you would use the internet. And don't allow these media kind of journalism production pieces to kind of confuse the narrative around crypto being a force for good or force for evil, right? Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Smash the likes. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.